And we are back for part three of why some refuse to do business with Black owned businesses. For the month of February, Black History Month, we did a survey to find out what is the main reason to get to the bottom of the situation. We were going to remove all of the myths, remove all of the opinions, and just go based on what the data says, because in data we trust. So we're going to continue to unpack the results of that survey, and we'll be back in less than 5 minutes. And we are back. Great morning, everyone, and welcome to an awesome episode of CX in the Morning, Customer Experience in the Morning. I am your host, Mr. Wes Walters, and on every single CX in the Morning, I bless you with customer service tips, customer experience tricks, and I leave you with gems. And by gems, I mean actionable takeaways that you can implement at the speed of now, meaning immediately after this broadcast, you will be able to implement what you've learned with yourself and your team and your business, making your team and your business better. Who doesn't want that? So the check-in before the lesson, how has everyone's week been thus far? You know what? I was thinking that the reason why I have these shows on Wednesdays is because, the Wednesday is the middle of the week. So it's a unofficial audit. It's a check-in with you to be like, hey, how has the week been going so far? Now, we're at halfway during the week. So the goals that you've allocated, the goals that you set for this week, if you're not halfway through, then you got to double up. So that's the reason why I chose to have this show on Wednesdays, because it's an unofficial audit. It's a check-in. Like, hey, how are we doing? If we stay on this course, by the end of the week, we will achieve our goals, or by the end of the week, we will not achieve our goals. So that's why it's on Wednesday. But anyway, this is part 3 of why some refuse to do business with Black-owned businesses. For Black History Month, we did a survey again to find out the main reason, to remove all of the myths and the hearsays and the street logic. And no. We wanted to go with what the data says, because over here in data we trust. And the data says that it is not what you think. Now, if you haven't seen the other episodes, the past 2 episodes, I need you to go back and watch those. We're not going to go back to those. But this is part 3. This is part 3. Let us know where you're checking in from. This is part 3 of why some refuse to do business with Black-owned businesses. Now, I'm going to do a quick review. The main reason why some refuse to do business with Black-owned businesses is not what you think. 51%, more than half, say it's because of slow response time. Yeah, I bet you didn't see that one coming, right? You're like, no, that's not the reason. It's because she's a Delta and I'm an AKA and I hate A. Yeah, it's not that. Shay, Atlanta, good morning. Shay in the morning. So Shay, this is part 3 of a Black History Month special of why some refuse to do business with Black-owned businesses. Now, again, like the first reason, 51% is because of slow response time. That's the chief reason. That's what the data says. Taking away emotions, that's what the data says. Now, coming second place, tied for 38%, is a subpar service. Not subpar quality of the product, but of service. Subpar service, and they feel that it was overpriced. And now we're addressing the third reason at 33%, tied, is not being polite and poor customer service. So those 2 are tied for the reason, or the third reason why some individuals say, hey, I refuse to do business with Black-owned businesses. All right, so let the juggling begin. Let's jump right in. All right, so not being polite and poor customer service, we're going to separate those 2. So we're going to break them up so that we can address those separately. All right, so let's tackle, and I have my notes here. Let's tackle not being polite. Rule number 1 in not being polite: smile. See, I spent $2,500 on this smile. Anyone who knows me growing up, they're like, he didn't look like that growing up. Trust me, he paid money for that. This is the $2,500 smile. I did not look like this growing up. Got a little money, contracts start coming in. I'm like, let me fix my teeth. And I've been cheesing ever since. Every picture since then, I'm like. So a smile, on a real note, on a serious note, smile is part. Let your employees know that a smile is part of their uniform. A smile is a part of their uniform. Even when on the phone, it's almost like when you call customer service, you can tell, you can feel if the person is smiling or not. You can. Oh, case study. Case study. If you're in Georgia, oh my God, call Georgia Power. Call Georgia Power. If you want to know what you're supposed to sound like on the phone, call Georgia Power. If you're not in the southern states, still call Georgia Power. Go to Google, type in Georgia Power. Guaranteed, the person on the phone is someone. So I did research. Georgia Power's true story. Georgia Power's call center is a big, majestic porch with older, elderly women sipping lemonade. True story. Every person at Georgia Power, when you call, is like a Southern belle. I mean, I think in order to qualify for that position, you have to be over 60, and you have to be a female, and you have to be Southern. I mean, just, hey, thank you for calling. I mean, femininity is just oozing out the phone. Like, I get on the phone with Georgia Power, even if I owe a balance, I'm like, hold up, you guys charge. Oh, Miss Rhonda, God bless you. Oh, everything I was about to say goes out the window because the lady on the phone is smiling, and I can feel it through the phone. And she's definitely a Southern belle. I think the prerequisite to work at Georgia Power in the call center is that you got to be over 65 and you got to be female. Yes, because that's what you get when you call Georgia Power. It's like, hey, it's a pleasant day at Georgia Power. Mr. Walters, how may I serve you? I'm like, I mean, if you're facing, if you're in traffic, if you're dealing with multiple things, you hear that, it's a calming effect just by her smile. So, one, a smile should be part of the uniform, even over the phone. Let your employees know a smile is part of the uniform. Second is, I think a big reason what I found from the history doing this stuff is positioning is an issue. And you're like, Wes, what in the world is positioning? Positioning is putting the wrong employee in the wrong position. Many times I've worked with clients where this position clearly calls for an extrovert, but they have an introvert at their position and wondering why this introvert is not doing a great job. Frustrated Wes, we can't get her to greet. She's not an outgoing person. Why is she a hostess? Why? So you just put a body there because you realize that you needed somebody there. But this is not the person. This person is costing you money. She's not warm. She's not fuzzy. She's not smiling. She's not inviting. She needs to be in the back of the kitchen making salads. No diss to people who make salads. I like salads. I'm actually doing 45 days of raw right now. So I like that. So if you see me looking a little slender, no sick jokes. It's because I'm doing 45 days of raw. All right. So I don't want to hear any comments. Oh my God, he's looking sick. What's wrong with him? I knew it. No, it's just raw. So salads are important. But my point is, if that person is not a warm, bubbly person, if they're not a people person, there's no reason they should be a hostess. There's no reason their main job should be interacting with your customers. All right. You're doing yourself an injustice and a huge disservice to your business by positioning incorrectly. If this position requires an extrovert, please, by the grace of God, do not put an introvert there. They're not going to do a good job, and customer satisfaction is going to plummet. All right? Moving along. The third reason is why employees are not polite is because you have someone who is confrontational, someone who woke up and chose violence, as they say in social media. Oh, I just woke up and chose violence. Yeah, you want to have someone that's going to be interacting with your customers to be someone who is solution oriented, someone who is always looking to de-escalate the situation and come up with the solution. You don't want a fighter there. No. You don't want someone who just wants to prove to the customer that I'm right and you're wrong. No. You want someone who, in that position, even if they're right, they apologize. You're like, wow. Insert mind-blowing emoji. You're like, what are you talking about? Apologize if we're not wrong. Yes, shows empathy. It's like, hey, I'm sorry that you're going through that. Hey, I had nothing to do with your luggage being lost in Seattle. And now when you're in Miami, but I apologize anyway. That lets the customer know, hey, not sympathy, but empathy. I am empathy. I couldn't imagine having all of my stuff across the country and I'm here in Miami. I would hate that. So empathy, being someone who's willing to apologize even when they didn't do the offense. Again, we're in hospitality here. If your people, if hearing that ruffles you the wrong way, if hearing that makes you feel uncomfortable, you really, really need to do some self-reflection with yourself and your team. If you're at the helm of the organization, oh my God, please reach out to me. I can help you with that. Please reach out to me. Naya, thank you for joining. Hey, my condolences to you and Alicia and the entire family. Thanks for being here. So this is part 3 on why some refuse to do business with Black-owned businesses. So again, the third part of not being polite is someone who's confrontational. You don't want someone who's going to be interacting on with your clients who's confrontational, who their main MO is to prove to the customer that I'm right and you're wrong. All right. So that covers being polite. Now polite and being rude is different. So I want to, well, before I even do that, I'm going to say, why are some people not polite? You're like, what? Like Wes, it's good to say what being not polite is, but let's say, why are they? Well, most of the research says people are not polite because of their own personal values, by their own personal biases, confirmation bias, a lot of different biases on why people are just not polite. Whether it's, hey, you're a different color, you're a different sex, you're a different race, you're from a different university, you're from the East Coast, I'm from the West Coast, you're from the North, I'm from the South. Those personal biases spill over into business all the time. It's happening on a subconscious level. And it is manifested on a conscious level. So personal biases is one of the main reasons why some are not polite. Now, being polite is one thing, and being rude takes it up to another level. There's a difference between you're just not a people person, you're not being polite, you're not approachable. That's one thing. There's a different thing in being rude. Being rude is being disrespectful to your customers. Now, if you're in the service-based business, service-based industry, there is no time when your team player should be rude to a customer. And I know you're like, well, Wes, that's second grade. Why are you even covering this? You would be surprised. Come to Atlanta. Sometimes I get discouraged. I do. Sometimes I get discouraged because I'm like, how do you not know this? Sometimes I do get discouraged. And it's disheartening. And then I realize, well, that's why God gave you this flag. That's why God gave you this customer experience mantle, because you're going to turn that frustration into solutions. But it's worth saying, hey, you cannot be disrespectful to the customer that's paying the rent, that's paying the mortgage, that's paying the lease, that's paying everyone's salary. You cannot be disrespectful to the customer. All right? Hey, Jalas, welcome. So we're doing episode 3 of why some refuse to do business with Black-owned businesses. All right. Second on the list is employees that say, that's not my job. That's the go-to line for the millennials. Well, that's not my job. Now, that is unacceptable in both areas, from an internal customer point of view and an external customer point of view. There is no way, under no circumstance, should your employee say that to management. Hey, can I help? Can I get you to do this? They're like, well, that's not my job. Okay, we're going to get someone for your job. And secondly, they should definitely never, ever, ever say that to a customer. I was at Kroger one time, and I asked a lady, clearly had a Kroger t-shirt on, and I was like, hey, can you help me get blank? She straight up said, she was pushing her cart, and she's like, that's not my job. I was like, but what do you get for $15 an hour? Like, is it just pushing the cart, or do you get pushing the cart and answering questions? Because in her mind, she was like, all I do is push the cart. Don't ask me no questions. And she gave me that business too. She was like, she looked up and down like, who the hell he think he is asking me questions? Like, I mean, she gave me that Kobe stare. she gave me the Kobe stare like, that ain't my job. I was like, what? I thought for $15 an hour, I got pushing the cart and asking questions. Apparently not. So employees that say that to management, especially to customers, unacceptable. Blissful Therapy is in the building. Great morning, Miss Lachelle. We are covering, this is the third installment on why some refuse to do business with Black-owned businesses. This is, of course, for Black History Month. So you're going to have to go back and watch the first 2 episodes, because the main reason why you feel some don't support Black-owned businesses. Matter of fact, tell me, Miss Lachelle, why do you feel some don't support Black-owned businesses? And we're going to keep it moving here, and I want to see what your comment is. All right, so all employees need to know that they have 2 jobs. Yes, all employees need to understand that they have 2 jobs. Job number 1, and their main job, is to exceed the customer's expectation. Hey, that's a gem. Whenever I say gem, you should write it down. That's a gem. All employees have 2 jobs. The first job is to exceed the customer's expectation. Any customer in sight expectation. Second job is the job in their job description. For the lady at Kroger, it was, I was a cart pusher. Hey, I don't answer questions. I'm a cart pusher. Don't ask me no questions. But in all seriousness, all employees need to know that they have 2 jobs. The first job is any customer that you see that needs help, your job is to exceed their expectation. All right, Lachelle said the main reason why some refuse to do business with Black-owned businesses, and her response was poor customer service. That's kind of broad. See, Lachelle is an educator, and she's an intellectual. Intellectuals always play it safe. Well, I'm gonna say this, and then if he asks me to expound, I'll be able to expound. But that's the right answer. But I'm not gonna be expounding because he's doing a live. He's not gonna make me expound. You intellectuals, right? All right. She followed up with, folks think white folks ice is colder. She's an intellectual and she's a Pan-Africanist. But no, Lachelle, the main reason, this is what the data says. The data says the main reason some refuse to do business with Black-owned businesses is, you'll never be surprised, is because of slow response time. That's the main reason. And by far, 51%, more than half the people did the survey, they said the main reason why I choose to do business, not to do business with Black-owned businesses, is because of slow response time. Now, of course, customer service is on there, and of course, the white man ice is colder. Yes, those are on there. But the main reason, by a landslide, 51%, more than half, said is because you Black people are too slow. That's it. I was like, that's the main reason? Lachelle, when I got the results from the survey, I said, if that's the main reason, this is going to be easy. I'm like, I can fix that myself. Like, Wes Walters can do that job. I can just put out content tailored to, hey, increase in response time. I'm like, if that's the reason God put me here to fix that, I'm like, God, I'm a servant. I'm a servant, son, and this is easy. I can do that. All right, all right, I can do that. But so don't be confused about what the media teaches you or shows you that, hey, the main reason Black businesses are suffering is because of this, because the Black people are incompetent. No, the main reason why is because their customer base says they have slow response time. So there you have it. Now, of course, there are more on the list, like you mentioned, but that's the main reason. And if that's the main reason, meaning if that's the worst possible reason, then I'm like, this is easy. I'm like, Wes Walters will take that mantle and fix that for all Black businesses on the planet. That's easy. I'm like, I can do that. I can literally do for the remainder of the year, I can do content that shows Black business owners how to increase response time on social media, on emails, on hold time, all of that. But yeah, that's easy. So it is not as bad. First of all, if you're a Black-owned business owner, give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a pat on the back, because it's not that bad. It's not as bad as it seems. Now, I'm not giving you a free pass. No, some of y'all are trifling, and some of y'all need help. But it's not as bad as you think it is. All right, so let's keep it moving. Now, let's go to what Lachelle talked about. Poor customer service. Again, all employees need to know that a smile is part of their uniform. So we want to start off with smiling again. A smile is just a way of inviting customers that you are here to serve into your aura. You're saying, hey, come on over. I am happy to serve you. How do you know? I'm smiling. I'm happy to be here. I'm smiling. I'm happy to be here. Now, of course, on that list again for poor customer service, the main reason overall, not just for Black businesses, one of the main reasons that contribute to poor customer service is slow response time. So that's not just for Black-owned businesses. That is not just exclusively for Black-owned businesses. All businesses, consumer survey said, hey, one of the biggest reason or one of the biggest contributing factors to poor customer service is slow response time. All right, now hold time, poor customer service as well. If your hold time goes over 60 seconds, then every minute after 60 seconds, the clients or the customers' confidence in your business goes down 2 points. Yes, that's a gem. You should write that down. After 60 seconds of hold time, even if you have the best music on, I don't care if you have Beyonce playing, if you have Rihanna at the Super Bowl, if you're in the DC area, you got go-go music playing. If you're in Miami and you have Luke playing, if you're in Texas and you have UGK playing, it don't matter. If you're in Atlanta, you have Outkast playing. Once it goes past 60 seconds, the customer's confidence in you drops every 60 seconds. So hold time should not exceed 60 seconds. Now, you're like, well, sometimes it does. If it does, that's a management issue where you have to get more staff in, because there is money right here at the counter. There is no reason why someone should be holding up the line because they're taking an order online, and that they can't take the order online. They say, hold up, because I got customers in front. No, you obviously, management, you need to have 2 people there. You have to spend money to make money. Or they say in Hustle University, it takes dough to make bread. Yes, it takes dough to make bread. So you're going to have to hire more. That's a management issue. If hold times exceed 60 seconds, you need another person there. All right, let's keep it moving. Now, this is, I think, the main important. This is the thesis statement for this episode. This is what I run into with a lot of business owners. Is the dumbing down effect. You're like, what? I've never heard that before. Or like, Wes, what's the dumbing down effect? Well, the dumbing down effect is when a Black person goes to a Black-owned business, and because they're both Black, they address John over here, who's Caucasian. They address John as sir. Hey, sir. And because I am melanated like them, they say, what's up, bro? What's popping? Yo, what's up? Are those Air Force Ones? I like those. Now, there are mixed reviews on this. There's mixed reviews. Some is like, hey, I want him to bring it down. Like, kill all that stuffy corporate stuff. He sees me as a brother. Some are cool with that. But some see that as blatantly respectful. Like, if you're going to speak to the white guy as sir, why am I bro? I have mixed reviews on that, and that's why I came up with the solution. There are mixed reviews on that. So the way you deal with the dumbing down effect is, there are 2 ways to deal with that. The first is, you should never, ever, ever do it first. Ever. Never. I don't care if they went to the same high school. Let's just say you guys went to Head Start together, and you guys matriculated for the last 12 years. Head Start, 13 years. Head Start, kindergarten, 14 years. Head Start, kindergarten, all through elementary school, all through junior high and middle school, 4 years of high school. Let's just say you guys were in school forever. You still, if they're a customer, you still do not dumb it down unless they do first. I don't care if they're your twin brother. You guys have spent 9 months in the same womb. Once they're a customer and they come, it's sir or ma'am. Now, again, you never dumb it down first. Now, if the client be like, hey, Wes, it's me, Kevin. And you be like, hey, what's up, Kevin? Because Kevin gave you the green light to be like, hey, it's okay to turn it down. Matter of fact, I'm a little offense. I'm a little kind of upset that you're treating me like this corporate, like what happened? Like you don't forget, you acting like you don't know me? So that's the way that you handle that. But again, Kevin has to do it first. Kevin gives you the green light to be like, hey, this is me from high school. Turn it down. Take your tie off. But again, it happens from Kevin, from the customer point of view first. Now, the second rule, we're dumbing it down. The second rule, and this is important. The second rule is you never dumb it down if you have a premium price offering or you're creating or you have a luxury item, brand, product, service. Never. It doesn't matter if you guys went to school for 12 years together. If you have a luxury brand, if you have a luxury item, premium price offering, you never dumb it down. You keep what's called that doctor pose, doctor stance. It doesn't matter if, like I remember, I always tell the story about one of my dentists. This is not the one that did the job, but before my video production company shot the commercial for his dentist office, right? And the dentist was a totally different person on the video shoot compared to when I came to get my teeth cleaned. Totally different person. And I was kind of like, when I came in to shoot the video, it's like, hey, Wes, what's going on? What's going on, bro? Talking about the football game, blah, blah, blah. I came in to get my teeth cleaned. It was like, hey, Mr. Walters, so any pain? Are you experiencing anything? See that you have this there, and number 7, number 17 needs this. And I was like, for a minute, I was like, dude, it's me. It's me. It's Wes. I shot your video last week. But I wasn't educated enough. That was before I did this training, of course. And I learned that, he was in doctor stance always. When it came to being a doctor, he was in doctor mode. You can't be laughy, judgy, jokey when it's business time. Now, dentist work is, considered a luxury brand, luxury item, because most people can't afford dentist work without insurance. So he keeps his doctor stance always. Never did he came off the bus and be like, hey, man, hey, you know what? He didn't even give me an explanation about like, hey, the doctor in the videos are different from no. I just picked up on it. And again, in my research, I learned that, that's by design. He kept his doctor frame. That's the word I'm looking for, frame. So again, the dumbing down effect, there are two ways that you do this. Rule number 1 is that if you're not in a luxury brand, you only do it when the customer gives you the green light to do it. If the customer is kind of offended that you're acting like real corporate when we grew up together, when our kids played together, our kids are in the same Girl Scout troop together, and they're looking at you like, wow, you're referring to me as Mr. Johnson. It's Janet. If that's the reason, if Janet gives you the permission to like, hey, bring it down, then you have the permission. Second rule is you never, ever dumb it down, even if they're blue, black, if they're purple like you. Never dumb it down if you have a premium price offering or a luxury brand. Because you want to stay in what's called doctor frame. Because they're not going to people are paying for your knowledge and your expertise. And if you start friending it up, we're friends. People don't spend business. They don't spend real money. Premium price offerings with friends. What do friends want? Friends want the hookup. So That's one of the other reasons why you should stay in the doctor frame, because they're not asking a doctor for the hookup if he's in doctor frame. They're asking the doctor who refused to be in doctor frame and be like, hey, let me tell you, let me see those teeth. Let me see what you got. No. Then they want the hookup. So it works both ways. It's for two reasons. One, from a business point of view, and from a consumer's point of view, who's enjoying or who's receiving the service. All right, so that's it. This show was a real quick one. That's the third installment on why some refuse to do business with Black-owned businesses. Now, next week, we're going to pull this thing full circle. We're going to wrap up the month of our Black History Month, highlighting all of the reasons why some refuse to do business with Black-owned businesses. And we're going to come up with solutions. We're going to come up with solutions. We're not about showing problems. No. We're about solutions here. And if you're going to take 30 minutes of your time to watch the show, you want to leave with some solution, or what we call gems, actionable takeaways that you can implement at the speed of now. Thanks for being here, Miss Lachelle. I'm assuming you're still on the East Coast. That's why you're up so early. But if not, thank you for being here regardless. And for all of my people watching on YouTube, please, or if you're watching on LinkedIn or Facebook, please head over to YouTube and like this video while you're there. And also subscribe. We're trying to get over to 1,000 subscribers, so I would appreciate your help. Just go to YouTube. Lachelle, go to YouTube on your downtime and subscribe to the channel. It's Wes Walters, just the way my name is spelled here. Up and early in Vegas. Oh, my God. Well, hey, the early bird gets the worm. Salute to you, sister. Yeah, that's it. See you guys next Wednesday at 8 a.m. You want to be here, Lachelle, for the last show. Next week is the last show of this 4-part series. So you definitely want to be here, and you want to go back to YouTube in your downtime while you're driving and watch the first 2 episodes. As always, thank you guys for being here. It is my pleasure. Please implement what you've learned, sharing it with your team and your business, making your team and your business better. This is Wes, and that's a wrap. And I will see you guys next Wednesday at 8 a.m. Eastern. Peace.